Hello, friends. I am so excited to announce the release of my new book, Evolving Consciousness, which is set to launch on June 6th. I am hosting a live event on that day and included a link to register. I am working on the finishing touches and wanted to share an excerpt of my book with you. A factor that impacts our emotional well being and influences our belief systems are the underlying ideologies of the system that we live in. Growing up in a narcissistic household, whereby our emotional and or physical needs were not met, and we were objectified by our parents, has been shown to result in depression and anxiety. Therefore, one would assume that living within a narcissistic system also plays a role in our emotional and physical well-being. It is becoming increasingly evident that most of the policies and prevalent societal beliefs within the United States are highly narcissistic, meaning that those who have fiduciary duties within our systems tend to be self-serving, objectify others, and lack empathy. And our policies are not benefiting the collective. If you are born in the United States, you are likely born into a family who cannot afford for one parent to stay home and take care of you. Most mothers barely receive any paid maternity leave. In other developed nations, mothers receive 1 to 2 years of paid maternity leave because the collective ideology recognizes that the first 2 years of a child's life is critical. Therefore, in the United States, we start out in the world not feeling supported or valued by the system. As you are developing, unless your parents are aware, can afford to buy healthy organic food and have time to prepare it, you are consuming food that has been tampered with, synthetic, potentially poisoned, and lacks nutritional value. You are also breathing in polluted air and drinking contaminated water. This illustrates that the system is not ensuring that what you are consuming is safe. In fact, in the United States, the FDA allows 10,000 ingredients within our food, but Europe only allows 400, deeming the rest as harmful to our health, which is just one of the differences in policies. Then you grow up, go to school, and off to college, where you incur a significant amount of debt. You have not even moved out on your own and started working, and you are already financially at a deficit. In other developed nations, college is free. College tuition has also exponentially increased in the last few years, again illustrating the exploitation of the consumer. You then get a job where you are essentially exploited by the CEO who is making millions, but you are struggling to make ends meet. You are also required to work 40 plus hours at a job that you do not love at a fraction of the pay compared to those at the top, to make other people rich and fulfilling other people's dreams, not your own. The motto of most companies is highly likely profits over people, and there is a huge pressure to produce and succeed. You have very little time off and are made to feel guilty if you take it. Whereas the average European, for example, receives 6 weeks minimum of government mandated paid vacation per year. You are stressed by the cost of living, which has only been exponentially increased. The prevalent ideology, especially in the United States, is to work harder, achieve more, consume more, but to what end? It appears that many are spending most of their time working to merely survive, not thrive. Additionally, a large proportion of your paycheck is going to healthcare, which is also astronomical compared to other nations, where healthcare is usually free. We are the only country where the number one reason for bankruptcy is medical expenses. And then you pay approximately 30% of your paycheck to the government, where you are gaslit in believing that in supposedly the richest country we cannot solve poverty, but we have a huge military fund and are able to send money overseas. You are also aware that the government is working for corporate interest, not your own. These are just a few examples of policies that one would label as narcissistic and are negatively impacting all of us. The underlying feelings of living in this system creates anxiety, as well as feelings of isolation and not being supported, which may be why, compared to other developed nations, the United States has a higher percentage of mental health issues, as well as higher suicide rates. My book, Evolving Consciousness, is set to launch on June 6th. I hope you could join me live from Mount Shasta on that day at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific Time on TikTok or Facebook. I will also be offering a special book release rate of only $7 for paperback and only $1 for ebook on that day. Please register on the link I have provided. I hope you could join me and support my efforts to make Evolving Consciousness become a bestseller by buying a few copies on June 6th, because the world needs to hear this message. Evolving consciousness is more than a book, it's a mission. Please share this important message with others so that we can work together to raise the collective frequency. And please make sure to like and follow for more information. Together, we can spark an evolution.